Hello everyone, welcome back. Today I'm going to be doing a half and half face of more expensive high-end makeup versus the dupes. The dupes. However you want to say that word, but basically more affordable alternatives to expensive products because I love some of my high-end makeup and I love some expensive products. However, I'm fully aware that not everyone can afford to be spending those prices, and sometimes there are some really good alternatives that aren't exactly the same but are very similar. So that's what I'm going to do today. Oh, and also as well, I need to point out that all of the ad revenue from today's video is going to be donated to Operation Olive Branch, which is actually an organisation that one of my followers sent me a very nice message on Instagram and told me all about this organisation. They have made this incredible spreadsheet resource where you can access it via the website and you can have a look on this spreadsheet, and they have lists of specific families' GoFundMe campaigns in Gaza, and their incredible volunteers are verifying each of these GoFundMes to make sure that you're not just sending money out into the abyss and that this money is actually going to people that are in need of aid. I think that is amazing. I want to donate all of my ad revenue from this video to their cause, and more specifically I'm going to be donating to their perinatal project, and the money raised from this particular campaign is going towards perinatal care and their partners that are actually on the ground giving aid and providing aid to those that need it the most, because obviously they don't have access to it right now. And I personally think that that is a great cause to be donating to, so all of the ad revenue from this video will be donated to there. I will leave a link down below in case anybody has the means to donate yourself. And thank you to my lovely follower that actually messaged me with the details about this organisation, because I had not heard of it before and they are doing incredible work and I thought it was important. So I don't know what is going on with my skin at the moment, but I've actually like concealed some spots. I've got a few spots on my neck. I have no idea what's going on. I've never had this in my life. Something crazy went on with my hormones this month, because like this is the worst breakout that I've had in a long time, and it's actually really painful. So I'm trying to figure out what has caused that. I have no idea. I don't know if my like increase in exercise and like running more from being a literal couch potato to now going to the gym 3 times a week has like thrown my hormones into whack. I have no idea, but if you are experiencing the same things, you are not alone. So number one product is the Laura Mercier Real Flawless Weightless Perfecting Foundation. I tried this a few months back. It went crazy viral. Somebody posted a video of this and it got like 30 million views or something crazy. And then the second that I tried the Revolution Skin Silk Foundation, I was like, well, that feels very familiar. These are so similar in texture. Let me just start applying it to my face. The Laura Mercier one I've got in the shade 2N1 Cashew. So they are both super thin in texture. They kind of feel a little bit oily in texture. Like it almost feels like you're applying a face oil, like it's super slippery texture. Can you tell? Okay, maybe that was actually a bit much. I think I did a wear test for this Revolution one, or was it the Laura Mercier one? Or was it both? I can't actually remember, but if you type in my name and then the name of the foundation, hopefully it will come up with my kind of first impressions. But they are both so lightweight. However, I wouldn't necessarily recommend these for oily skin, but obviously I do just want to show you, because if anybody was after the Laura Mercier foundation, then you might want to try the Revolution one, because it's super duper similar. I don't think these colours are going to be the exact same, but it feels like nothing. Like it feels super weightless on my face and it feels lovely. I just think that maybe if your skin is probably more normal or dry, then you might prefer this. The Revolution Skin Silk I've got in the shade F5. I was using F4 before, but I think currently F5 is a bit of a better match. But can you see as I'm applying it? Ooh. This one kind of smells floral. I don't remember that. The shades are ever so slightly different, but like the formula just feels so similar and slippery and oily kind of feeling. I actually think the Revolution one might feel a little bit thinner even. I feel like I say quite often when it comes to dupes, like I am in favour of brands making more affordable alternatives to products, but not copying them exactly. Like making similar formulas, and fair, you can make similar packaging, but it's when brands make the packaging identical and then say that the product is a dupe, and then you try it and the formulas are completely different. I'm like, what was the point in that? And I mean, I guess it sells. Prime example is the Charlotte Tilbury, you know, the blush with the little foam applicator on the end, the Pink Gasm blush and like all of that range. Those have got to be the most duped products, I reckon. But so many of the drugstore ones just are too sticky and the formula's not the same. Okay, so these are both of the foundations on my skin. This is the Revolution one, this is the Laura Mercier one. I think I put on a little bit more of the Laura Mercier one. I'd say that the Revolution one has a tiny bit more of a glow. Oh, it's pinks. Hello, Pinky. Hello, Pinky and James. Sorry, should I add? Love you, Pinks. I love having a dog. I would say that the Revolution one is maybe... Ow, that is painful. The Revolution one I think has got slightly less coverage and is a little bit more glowy. But if you're after a very weightless feeling foundation that gives you a nice glow, then they are very similar. I'm just using this NYX Concealer, which is the Pro Fix Stick in the shade Vanilla. I'm just going to try and gently pat this in. Pat. This is how my skin is looking on both sides. Yeah, I think the Revolution one is a little bit more shiny, isn't it? But in terms of how they feel on my skin, they both have that very weightless kind of feeling. I'm not actually going to put on any cream bronzer. I am going to put on some cream blush though. The reason I'm not putting on cream bronzer is because the dupe bronzers that I have are both powder ones and they're quite pigmented and I think they'll do a good enough job on their own. So the blushes that I'm going to be duping today, I actually did a short video on these on my TikTok. I think it was just TikTok. Did I post it on Instagram as well? I couldn't post it on my YouTube Shorts because YouTube Shorts still only allows you to do 1 minute and most of my TikTok and Instagram videos are 3 minutes. So that's really annoying. YouTube, please sort it out. But I went out and bought a couple of the products that Sabrina Carpenter's makeup artist uses on her. One of them is the Giorgio Armani Fluid Sheer Glow Enhancer in the shade number 8. This is the pink kind of shade. And to be honest with you guys, I think it was like £31. I don't think it is worth the money. So it looks like it's going to be a really pretty blush. And I mean, it is technically a highlighter, like it's a glow enhancer as they call it. However, I'm just going to take some of this on my sponge and then dab it onto my face. It doesn't really do a whole lot in terms of colour. I think that this would be a good blush topper, but if I just show you it by itself, when you kind of blend it in, it sort of just turns into like a slightly pink toned pearly highlighter, and it is pretty, but liquid highlighters I find really hard to work with. They're just not a bit of me. So yeah, that's it by itself. Like, it's not super visible. You see what I mean? And the dupe that I have found for this, which has recently joined my collection, this is the Colourpop Liquid Light Glow Drops Liquid Highlighter in the shade Petalite. It's a pink tone liquid highlighter, and look, in the thing, they don't look that similar, but then does that look like this on my face? No, it absolutely does not. So I'm gonna take some of this, and again, let's put a little dot of this on my hand. This one is actually even more intensely glowy and highlighted and pigmented, but when I was just swatching a bunch of things on the back of my hand, I was swatching this Colourpop one and was like, you know what, that gives a very similar finish once you actually blend it out. And I mean, right now, to be honest guys, I don't even think you can really see either of them. The Colourpop ones definitely dry a little bit faster, but maybe I should circle back to this once I've done my other liquid blush. Not gonna lie, at the moment I'm preferring the way that the Colourpop one is sitting on my skin. But I might try it on top of my blush afterwards to like bring back some glow. We'll see. This feels so bizarre to be setting my face before I've done any like cream bronzer or cream blush. I'm just setting with the number 7 loose powder. I think I'm gonna need a bit of powder foundation on here. It is definitely gonna be a bronzer down the neck kind of situation, isn't it? So for the bronzers, I have got the YSL All Hours Hyper Bronze, and I have got this one in the shade 3, I think that's the shade. The packaging on this is so stunning. It's actually like quilted and like spongy, and this is the type of makeup product that should be on display in my opinion. I think this looks gorgeous, and if you are a makeup collector and if you like high-end makeup, then I'm not gonna lie, these bronzers are really beautiful, and like look at the embossing in there. It's stunning. Also, this shade is actually a bit too dark for me. I did get sent this over a while ago, but this one is definitely a little bit too dark. But in terms of the formula, as soon as I tried these NYX Buttamelt bronzer, well, I've only tried one, this NYX Buttamelt bronzer, the formula of this feels so similar to me to the YSL one. It smells really nice. I've got the NYX one in the shade All Buttered Up. They are completely different shades, okay? This one is more of like an olivey, orangey toned bronzer. This one is like a pinky red toned, cooler bronzer. So they are gonna look different on my face, but in terms of the formula, they're both matte, but they both have a very buttery texture that blends very easily, and they both have an ever so slight sheen to them. I'm just gonna add a bit of the YSL first. And don't get me wrong, I really like it. And if you are more bougie with your makeup taste, then I do really like the bronzer formula itself. Like, it just goes on so smoothly and it blends really nice and easily. It's not like crazy pigmented. I'm dipping in a little bit, tapping off the excess, but it's just nice and buildable. And I don't know, can you see on my forehead here? It adds like the tiniest little bit of sheen, but not sparkle. It's probably enough. Let's also bring it down my neck. However, if you don't have crazy money to spend on a bronzer like this, then the NYX one's formula are very similar in my opinion. Like, it also just goes on super smooth. Okay, these colors are gonna look a little bit off and a little bit crazy, so I apologize for that, but let's just dip into this. Tap off the excess. This one adds like a tiny little bit of a sheen. Oh no, the colours look so different. That's also stuck in my hair. You know what? Let me know, which side do you prefer? The more warm tone bronzer or the more, I guess, like pinky red bronzer? The colours are definitely different, but in terms of how they blend, to me, they feel very similar. And I think that the NYX is a really good alternative. Just generally a nice drugstore bronzer, which I think we're kind of lacking a few of those. Oh wait, I've not done my nose. Let's do the NYX for my nose contour. Oh, the only thing is the YSL one's gonna look crazy as nose contour because it's so orange. Okay, we're looking a bit wild, but it's fine. I'm only leaving the house to walk the dog. So going back to blush. I'm excited by this one. Circling back to Sabrina Carpenter's blush combo, the other blush that her makeup artist uses on her all the time for the classic Sabrina Carpenter glow is again by Armani, and it is the Luminous Silk Glow Blush in 51. I think this was £39 or was it £41? Either way, it was a very expensive for a little blush. The most similar one that I have in my collection is this one from Sephora, which is the Sephora collection colourful blush in the shade 06 Flirt It Up, which happens to be one of my favourite blushes. And when you hold them up like this, you can see that they are ever so slightly different. This one is a tiny bit more pink, as in like it's a tiny bit darker. The Armani one is maybe a tiny bit darker and a tiny hint more cooler pink in there. It has a little bit of a sheen to it, not necessarily shimmer. These are £12.99, the Sephora ones, and the Armani is £39, so it's 3 times the price. Let's put the Armani one on this side. It is actually a really lovely blush, and I do like it. Like, I've enjoyed wearing this since I got it. Oh look, it definitely has a slight bit of a sheen to it. Do I just go crazy with this and do the whole Sabrina Carpenter thing again? Because, I mean, I sort of do that anyway, don't I? I quite often apply a lot of blush. Okay, so that is the Armani side. Let's try the Sephora side. I think the Armani one is actually probably a little bit more pigmented, and I think it's just a hint darker. However, if you are looking for that Sabrina Carpenter kind of blush colour, like the very pink cheeks, I love and use this Sephora one all the time. It's one of my favourite blushes at the moment. The Sephora one doesn't really have any sheen in it. The Armani one definitely does have a bit of sheen, but you could always then go in with a highlighter and just add a little bit of glow. But I feel like my makeup sticks so weirdly, and it just doesn't look as nice and seamless and blended when I don't have the cream products on underneath. Looking at them side by side, like, I think they look so similar. I think just looking at me, you wouldn't even be able to tell that I'm wearing 2 different blushes. Like, is that just me? If anyone knows of any other dupes though, let me know. Oh my god, I forgot my nose. I always put blush on my nose. What am I doing? For my highlighter, I'm using Benefit Cookie just on both sides of my face because I do not have a highlighter dupe today. Oh yeah, did I clarify at the start that this isn't like a full face? It's mostly just like a few products that I found good dupes for, because I don't want to say that something's a dupe just for the sake of it, you know? Benefit Cookie, come through. Oh balls, you know what I was meant to do? I was gonna do a liquid. Shit. I'm going to use this side of my sponge to take some of the Armani glow drops. Is that what they're called? I don't even think that's what they're called. And just add some of this over the top. Ooh, it does actually look quite nice, I can't lie. Ooh. Yeah, that's just giving it more of like a pinky glow, I think. Quite a nice blush topper. That does actually look really nice. Then on the other side, let's do Colourpop. So let's stamp some of that out. They both give a frosty pink. Like, can you see that? They both give a frosty pink kind of effect on your cheeks. And to be honest, I still am just not about the liquid highlighter hype. But yeah, on my cheeks, they look so similar. Do you not think? But yeah, that's the Colourpop one. That's the Armani one. I think you can't even tell. I just used the Rare Beauty eyebrow pencil in Rich Taupe. Before I do my mascara dupe, I've got these 2 setting mists. The first one is the e.l.f. Power Grip Dewy Setting Spray, which I believe is supposed to be a dupe for the Milk Hydro Grip Set and Refresh Spray. These are both bi-phase mists. You can't really tell right now because I've got such a small amount left in the Milk one. But bi-phase basically means that you're supposed to give them a shake and it combines like an oily top layer with like the I don't know, other layer underneath. I actually love both of these products. I've done ads with both of these products. This video is not an ad, and I mean, they would not have me competing with them, but this video is not sponsored. So the e.l.f. one has got a really nice fine mist. The Milk one has also, oh, maybe not, got a really nice fine mist. I actually think the e.l.f. mist is slightly finer, but you know what I'm so curious to test, because I don't know, I'm sure I've done a like rubbing on the hand test with this milk one, and I swear that my eyeshadow didn't smudge. I recently did a smudgy test of the e.l.f. one and the eyeshadow did smudge. I think both of these are targeted towards more dry skin and skin that wants a bit more of like a glow to it, which is why it's got like the oily layer in it. Just gonna use this little Milani eyeshadow palette. Okay, so we've got two dark brown eyeshadow swatches. So let's do the e.l.f. on that side, and then let's do the milk. And then I will wait for those to dry. In the meantime, let's put them on my face. So the milk one, wait, how am I gonna do this? I've just got this random sheet that came out of my printer. Wait for this to dry. You see how it just like adds more glow back into your skin? I mean, it's still wet, but I probably didn't even need the paper, did I? But whatever. Now I can use it to help fan. Honestly, they both just give such a nice finish to your makeup and make it look like it's just part of your skin. It like melts everything in together, which I think is one of the advantages with these kind of setting mists that you don't sometimes get with like the more matte ones. Like, look at the glow on my forehead. Like, it just looks like gorgeous skin on both sides actually. These are still drying, and in the meantime, while they dry, actually, you know what, I want some highlighter on my inner corners. I'm gonna use this little Bobbi. Oh my god, I forgot that I had a tattoo there when I did that. I was like, oh my god, what is that on my arm? This is the Bobbi Brown and Powerpuff Collection eyeshadow in the shade Moonstone. It does have the little like Powerpuff Girls on the front, but this, I believe you can buy the shade separately. Just gonna add this on my inner corners. Oh my god, that is so beautiful. I want it all over my eyelid. Oh, so pretty. You know what, guys? I think these are dry now. Okay, so this is the e.l.f. one. Let's do a little... Okay. Definitely smudged, although there is still a bit of it stuck there. And then this is the milk one. I feel like the milk one isn't quite as smudgy. Can you see the differences there? Like the e.l.f. one I think was a little bit more smeary. The milk one was a little bit more grippy. They're both really lovely products though, and I think if you have dry skin, you will love either. Like, they're just really nice. I just like them for like melting everything back in together and making it look like smooth and like freshly applied foundation. Mascara dupe. This is the Huda Beauty. Huda Beauty? Huda Booty. Huda who? The Huda Beauty One Coat Wow mascara, which, oh my god, this mascara is so good and it makes my lashes look incredible, but it smudges on me. And it's probably just because my skin is super oily, and I feel like every mascara that doesn't smudge on anyone else, it's gonna smudge on me. Like, it's so annoying. One that doesn't smudge on me, that I think is a good contender for a dupe, the ones are not exactly the same, but this is the Beautybay High Key mascara. Such an underrated mascara. And let me just show you both of the ones because they are similar. They're not the same, they are similar. They've both got plastic bristle brushes. They've both got very tiny little teeth that really grip your lashes. So the pink one is the Huda Beauty. This one is the Beautybay. Similar brushes but not the same, but they both give such good volume. You just need to do a little wiggle at the root and then drag upwards, and it just like loads the product on. So that is one coat of the Huda Beauty. I'm just going to go in with the Beautybay on the other side. But the Beautybay one is also really good at like gripping your lashes at the root, adding volume, adding length. But yeah, I actually prefer the Beautybay one. That is both of them being one coat. I feel like you can't really tell the difference. Let's go in with a second. By the way, both of these mascaras are a little bit clumpy. I personally quite like a clumpy mascara, as long as it's not clumpy to the point where you can't fix it. And this is the coat 2 of the Beautybay one. I actually think maybe the Beautybay one wins. Okay, now let me just do my lower lashes. Yeah, you know what? Maybe the Huda Beauty one is a bit too clumpy for me. I would say the Beautybay one is actually a little less clumpy. And then the final dupe that I have is for this YSL lipstick, which I spoke about a few videos back, or it might even be my last video. And I said that I think the e.l.f. ones would be a really good dupe of this, but I hadn't actually tested them on my lips until now. So this is the YSL Rouge Volupté Candy Glaze Lipstick in the shade 15. I love the smell of these YSL lip products, and I love this particular product. It's like a really glossy, balmy, full pigment lip colour. So I'm going to put this obviously on this half of my lips. And I absolutely love the colour of this. For me, it's like a My Lips But Better kind of colour. You don't need too much of this or it will feel a bit like thick and gloopy, because they sort of melt as they hit your lips. But then the formula dupe that I thought would be a really good dupe is the e.l.f. Pout Clout Lip Plumping Pens. I have got the shade Something that is so ridiculously tiny that no one would ever be able to read that. I think it says Toasted. This particular colour is not the same colour. However, oh my god, yeah, the formula let's ignore that the colour is not quite the same. This e.l.f. one is a little bit more brown, the YSL one is a little bit more on the pink side of things, but they feel so similar. The e.l.f. one has a tiny little bit of like a minty tingle, which does disappear. But yeah, if you're looking for a more affordable alternative to these YSL lip products, these e.l.f. ones do a pretty good job. They give such a similar effect on your lips. They both feel super hydrating. They both have really good pigment. They're both really creamy and smooth and glossy. I'm just going to remove the e.l.f. side because I just want to compare it to a NYX product that I have, which is the NYX Click Stick in Link in my bio, which these are so similar to the e.l.f. ones, but I just want to see if this colour is more similar. Okay, I think the NYX ones are slightly less glossy than the e.l.f. ones, and they're not quite as thick. Yeah, that colour's definitely still off. Like, this one's a little bit more warm toned. The YSL's a little bit more cool toned. I will keep trying to find a perfect colour dupe, but in the meantime, like in terms of the formula, they feel so similar. So I think it's a really nice alternative. Obviously the YSL one, you get the really nice packaging. So you probably are paying a lot for the packaging and like the nice smell and stuff, but the e.l.f. and the NYX ones are still really nice if this is what you're looking for. So this is my final face of half and half, and to be honest, I don't actually think you can tell a crazy difference. I think I actually definitely prefer the highlighter on that side. Yeah, you'll have to let me know what you think, because I don't think looking at my face you'd be like, whoa, she's got really different products on. Like, it looks so similar now that I've done my whole face. I really hope this was helpful, and again, if there are any other products that you want me to either try and find a dupe for, or any dupe recommendations that you have yourself, let me know down below in the comments. We can have a chat about it, and if you like this kind of video, feel free to subscribe, because I do these quite often. I don't know, every 6 months maybe I'll do one of these videos. I love a high-end product, but I also love a good dupe, so I hope this is helpful. I will leave everything linked down below. Give this video a thumbs up, that would be really helpful, and I hope you guys are good. I will see you in my next video. Bye!